When we first learn math, it's physical. If you have two groups of two apples, you can put them on a table, merge them together, and count out exactly 4 apples. Even when we introduce negative numbers, that physical logic mostly holds up. If your bank hits you with a $2 fee twice, you understand you are down $4. But then you encounter the weirdest question in elementary arithmetic. What happens when you try to multiply -2 by -2? Here, the idea of multiplication as repeated addition completely falls apart. How do you hold -2 groups of -2 apples? Most of us hit this wall in the 5th grade, only to have a teacher tell us to stop asking questions, memorize the worksheet, and accept that the answer is +4. Taking rules on blind faith goes against the entire point of mathematics. If we just invent a rule to paper over a gap in our logic, the whole arithmetic system that we rely on to build bridges and send rockets to space would collapse. To figure out what's really happening, we have to stop counting physical objects and start thinking about geometry. We must look at the number line as a physical space. In this space, multiplying by a positive number is just a command. It tells you to scale your position or step forward along the line. A negative sign is a spatial instruction. It tells you to turn exactly 180 degrees to face the opposite direction. Apply that to our problem. The first negative has you facing backward. When you multiply by that second negative, you are instructed to turn again. You end up right back where you started, pointing forward. Geometrically, those two negative spatial commands cancel each other out, locking you into a positive direction. We can scale this up from a 1D line to 2D area. This is a visual tool, often used to solve tricky 2-digit arithmetic, like 18 times 17. This chart shows the standard area model, calculating that product. We break 18 down into 10 plus 8 and 17 into 10 plus 7, calculating the area of each smaller box to reach a total of 306. This chart plays a mathematical trick on that exact same rectangle. We rewrite 18 as 20 minus 2 and 17 as 20 minus 3. Calculating the area for these new numbers gives 400, -60, and -40, leaving a running total of 300. The physical bounds of this rectangle dictate an area of exactly 306. The final missing piece must perfectly fill that gap. To preserve the objective geometry of the shape, that final box, which represents -2 times -3, is structurally forced to equal +6. We can strip away the apples, the number lines, and the rectangles entirely. The unbreakable laws of basic algebra tell the exact same story. We start with a universally accepted rule. Any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Therefore, -2 times 0 equals 0. We substitute that 0 with its exact mathematical equivalent, +3 plus -3. Next, we distribute the -2 across those new terms, expanding the equation into 2 multiplication problems. The first half is -2 times 3, which simplifies to -6. That leaves our mysterious double negative sitting as the missing piece required to reach 0. Algebra traps us. The only mathematical value that can possibly be added to -6 to reach 0 is +6. Mathematics is an interdependent web. Every single piece relies on the others working perfectly. A negative times a negative being positive is a mandatory structural consequence of this system. When humanity invented negative numbers to measure real-world concepts like debts and falling temperatures, we couldn't invent new math rules to go along with them. These abstract numbers were forced to conform to the existing universal laws of arithmetic that govern everything else. You never have to take anything on faith. You simply have to trust the inescapable logic to its forced conclusion.